I'm going to be making shrimp PoBoy, and it's spelled P-O-B-O-Y, but it's PoBoy, and it's based on it's a New Orleans sandwich. It's like a sub, a hero, or a hoagie. Every part of the country has a different version of a sandwich stocked full of great ingredients. It can be either hot or cold. I'm actually going to be making a hot one. I'm going to be making a shrimp PoBoy. You can also use catfish, you can use oysters, and it's usually deep fried, but we're not going to deep fry, we're going to pan fry, so it's going to be a lot less oil. But first, we're going to actually bread the shrimp, and what I have is I have some already breaded here. I'm just going to show you real quickly how to go about it. I have these leftover containers, which really make it nice because they keep the mess to a minimum. So what I want to do is I want to put a little salt in each of my ingredients, in each of my dishes here, and I have flour, and I have some egg, and I have some cornmeal, and then we have the real interesting party. We actually have the shrimp. Now I'm going to season these with a little salt, a little pepper, and then I'm going to use a classic seafood spice called Old Bay, and I'm going to put a little bit in there. You can see you'll see the recipe will give you the exact ingredients. And then we're just going to get a pair of tongs. We'll kind of mix that up a little bit. Now this is a nice thing. This is what makes this easy. We take these shrimp. You want to do a few at a time. Probably do about, yeah, that'll be a good amount. We'll do those to start with. Put a top on this. Just give it a nice shake. You know, make sure you get a tight-fitting top or you'll have a surprise. We take those off, get my tongs back. You want to always shake off the excess. You want to shake off the excess, put that in the egg. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, this is in the business, this is called the standard breading procedure, which sounds really formal. It's like you're almost in an operating room when when a cook comes up to you and he says, "How should I bread these?" And you go, "Use the standard breading procedure." And with this, see, now that's, and you see in a lot of recipes they say, you know, one hand dry, one hand wet. That way, you know, your hands never get messy. I've been doing this for years. My hands still always get messy. I end up like with gloves of cornmeal on my hands. So we just do that. We shake that, turn that one over, get the egg nicely coated around those shrimp. And then we set that over there. And then we just take off the excess and throw in our cornmeal. And all I'm going to end up with is a set of tongs that are dirty and some Tupperware containers, and they can all go in the dishwasher. So we're talking about easy cleanup. Not only with these meals do I talk about, you know, quick preparation, but also you want something that you're not going to spend a half an hour after dinner cleaning it up. There's some nights I go home and I say, wow, you know, let's use paper plates. Now I'm just going to take a fork. Since my tongs are, see now the shrimp here in front, I actually had those refrigerated a little, and that's ideal. If you have the time, you can do these ahead, put them in the refrigerator, cover them, put them in the refrigerator, and then bring them out later. Now I have a pan going here. I'm going to turn that up to high, and I'm going to add oil to it. And you want enough oil in the bottom of the pan so all the like imperfections in the bottom of the shrimp, all the nooks and crannies, let's say, will be touched by some oil. And that's what we're doing. Now that's going to it's going to get up to high. You're going to look at it and it's going to start to shimmer and it's going to get a sheen on. I'm going to add a little bit more in there. Now while that's getting up to temp, what we're going to do here is I'm going to wipe off my board and get out a knife, and I want to, there we go. I want to do the garnish right now. We're going to take the garnish, and I have some lettuce, and I have a tomato, a little bit, and we're going to take this lettuce, and we're going to get rid of these thick ribs, and take out of that one. We're going to do something called chiffonade, which is like, it's French for like making rags, but it goes really well. But those thick ribs, that won't make it in this sandwich. It'll kind of be a little bit too bulky. I'm going to set do that. Okay, now I am going to get a different pair of tongs that are clean. And we're going to put some of these shrimp. Yeah, so you can hear that nice sizzle. Make sure that heat's all the way up high, because once I start putting the shrimp in here, the temperature of the pan is going to drop significantly. So you want to keep the heat on high, so you can see how nice and golden brown those are getting. That cornmeal's cooking up real nice. That one I can tell. And you can kind of watch. You kind of look at the edges of them, and you can kind of see how the edges are starting to change the color. The cornmeal will start to get a little bit different hue to it. And you just want to, okay, give those another minute. While those are cooking, I'm going to just take my lettuce, I'm going to roll it up into a bundle, and I'm going to make ribbons. And then put that aside, and then I'm going to take my shrimp out of the pan. That's the next thing I'm going to do. We're going to take that off the heat. The ladies on it. Now, because we seasoned everything, you don't really have to season these when they come out of the oil. But a lot of times it's a good idea if you don't season your breadcrumbs and your flour, it's a good idea to actually season these right when they come out. I'm just going to add all these back in there. Now I'm going to slice up my tomato. Quick way, let's see. So a nice way of taking out the stem. If you really go close up on your knife like this, you just stick your knife in there and you kind of put your thumb right in the center of the tomato and you just kind of spin it around and it comes right out. That keeps, it's like a guide. It makes it, you definitely won't, ooh, this tomato is so nice and ripe. That's just the right amount. We'll set that over here. Now we're going to make our spicy mayonnaise. We're going to put our mayonnaise here in this bowl. I have some pickle relish, gives me some sweetness, and then I have some mustard that gives me some spiciness. Let's kind of just mix that up. Okay, let's give this a taste. I think this will be good to go. A little salt. We always seem to need some salt and pepper. Yeah, let's give that a final taste. Yeah, that's what it needed. Okay, so we're winding down to a close here. The way they like it down in New Orleans, they like a really chewy roll. Now you can use these. This is a pretty chewy roll. I'm gonna open that up. We're good to make our poor boy sandwich. I'll show you how you put this together. Because it needs to be messy. There's no, this is not dining for the person who, wants to stay really nice and neat. At least, not from my point of view. If you're gonna eat, you gotta eat right. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our piece of bread down there. Then I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna be going back and forth, but I'm gonna put, a good tablespoon of our mayonnaise mixture in there. I'm going to come over here and put a little bit of lettuce. That really is a couple nice slices of tomato. And then I'm going to take some shrimp. I'm just going to lay those right in there. Just load it up. If you need to use a knife and a fork, be my guest. That's a mound of shrimp, that's for sure. And then you top it with, more mustard, more mayonnaise, more of your topping. So this is a sandwich that you can make for your family. You saw how quickly it is. You can actually use, like I mentioned, you can use catfish, you can use crayfish, you can use oysters. But with enough said, with that, let's bring good food to the table.